on this channel. Yay! 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 I'm so happy because finally we get to, have like a safe space to express ourselves. And I also recognize that because this is our first live stream. Not many of you are going to know when we've gone live, and therefore I'm requesting that you subscribe, and after you've subscribed, turn on the notification bell so that next time I go live, then you get to know, like we are live. Let's have the conversation going. So I'm hoping to do this very, very often, and therefore we can get many, many more conversation going on. But at least I'm hoping before the end of this live stream, at least one person will have joined, because I'd love to hear what some of you have to say. So let's join in and let's be having these reactions together, not just me. I also love to hear some of your opinions on these concepts, topics that are going on. And I'm in a process of learning, and I've been learning so many things, especially in relation to what I've been talking about. Like, we've been discussing a lot about being white and being black and the difference in those whole concepts in terms of like life. I have to say, as a Kenyan who has lived in Kenya all my life, I was confident on, like, it wasn't a thing of bother. Like, I was more not aware on the whole difference that exists between us being of different color. But Solo B, this is so nice. Thank you so much for joining. Good to see you, sis. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for joining this channel. If you don't know, there's a side story. If you don't know, I have another channel. It's called Queen Desta. There, I basically show my life and what I'm up to, more like lifestyle, travel. Yes. So when I got into this travel world, I began to learn more about the different ways of life and how we are affected by the different scenarios that we get to experience. And recently I also got married to an American, which also led me to knowing that I have to teach myself a lot about the different things that we keep experiencing in life, like some of the challenges that I will face based on different countries, and some of the scenarios that will be different compared to how I was used to living. So I thought, let me educate myself, and in the process of educating myself, I take you along with me on that journey. So basically, we react here specifically of African affecting things on the perspective of maybe color, on perspective of lifestyle. We also discuss a lot about where to live and different ways in terms of which life is better. That's why you'll see me reacting on those. You also see me reacting a lot to do with like different cultures, because I'm a believer in trying to get all the best, like the good things from everything. Yeah, so these lives will be happening every day. Feel free to join. I'll do my best to just turn on your notification. I'll do my best to make sure that every day we have something to come and talk about. You need to come back home. Solobi, do you mean like come back to Ethiopia? So I used to live in Ethiopia, for those who are new on this channel. I used to live in Ethiopia at some time. That's why you'll see I also have like so many things to offer based on my experience in Ethiopia. We'll see about that. We'll talk about that in another video. But today we are talking about whites and blacks in different perspective. This is actually a reaction of a video that I ever did, where there was this pastor who went in church and was talking about how Africans, or how it was in Nigeria, so Nigerians, women should not wear their hair out because then they won't get a husband, So I found that so triggering, and that's why I reacted to that video, so you should check that out. But what was interesting is the comments that came after from that video. So some of these comments is what we're going to be reacting to today, and what is even more interesting and what led me to thinking, this is a really good react point for us, because a lot of white people watched this video, which was surprising. My goal with this video was to educate more black people that we should love ourselves more as we as we continue living. But then, guys, keep commenting, keep chatting. Let me hear what you have to say. Yes. So the thing is, I found it so interesting that so many more white people were commenting on this video than the blacks, where my goal was to educate more black people on loving themselves, on how they are, and you don't necessarily have to wear a wig so that you are approved by a man. And I find this so interesting. Think about it. A black lady is what we're talking about, who was born with African hair. No problem. She's looking to get married. If we go by statistics and realism, majority of the black women will be married by their people, by the people of their country. And even worse, like majority of us get married by our own people. Like if I'm Kenyan, majority of Kenyans will be married by Kenyans. So this is in Nigeria. She's Nigerian, so the many people that she's talking to are Nigerian. So majority of people that will marry her are Nigerians. And to speak out in public with so much confidence was so alarming for me on how you're able to tell everybody you're gonna be loved by a Nigerian and you are Nigerian. So don't love yourself as you are. Love yourself by putting on wigs. Basically, be Caucasian. And I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with wigs. I do have a problem with it being your new identity. Anyway, so that was my perspective, and I'm here with me and you, and I'm hoping we won't be triggered, but we will have a good experience. Yes, I am missing Ethiopia. I miss Ethiopia too. Like I have moments that I'm like, oh my god, I miss Ethiopia. Take me back. That time will come. Don't worry, I'll come back. So someone says that's not a pastor, that's a female hustler. I know, right? I would agree with you because maybe she's selling, she has her brand of wigs that she's advertising. So she's like, everybody go, let's go buy these wigs. Yeah, I would also agree. Like in that way, I agree. And traditional dictates everything, Desta. Let's not forget that. I'm in agreement with traditional. Traditions dictate everything. But then, in this concept of here, what is a tradition? Is it wigs or is it us being more of us? Is it wigs or more of us being us? Yeah. Another time, so we can dive deeper into these topics, we should come and talk about where the whole even idea of wearing wigs came from. And because you're talking about traditions now, based on your comments, so Lobby, what were the traditions of people? Even like, let's think. They say the world started in Ethiopia. What was the tradition of people then? What were they doing to their hairs? And we'll dive into that in another video. So this is where the whites begin. And thank you for the comments. Someone says, as a white woman, natural hair is awesome. Beautiful and unique. That afro is dope. Thank you very much. Well, that's a white woman appreciating our natural hair and saying it's beautiful and it's unique. And I want more of us to be the ones advocating for that sentence. And then someone says, black women have beautiful hair. Natural hair is amazing. Fully agree with you. Another white. I told you, this was so surprising that more white people had something to say about our natural hair compared to even us. And I just want to advise all of us, like, we should be proud to speak about our things that are ours more than other people talking about us, if that makes sense. Like, I should be proud of talking about I'm African, or I'm Kenyan, or I'm Kikuyu, more than waiting for someone that is maybe not that to come and be like, oh, that's cute, Someone says, as a white male, I find this saddening. I know several black women who had afros. They were attractive and pleasant women. Yeah, this is really saddening. For sure, it's very saddening. The afro is beautiful. Thank you very much. Black women in 2024 are unbothered. Then they proceed to like put nails and lipstick and stuff like this. Yeah, we are unbothered, but low-key we should be bothered on the right way. Then someone says, how embarrassing. Natural hair is best. I'd love to hear for anyone that has joined in this live stream before I continue reading the comments. So something else has been going on. Should men participate or contribute on what a lady does with their life? In this case, with the context of hair, should a man or your husband, your boyfriend, your brother, your dad have something to say about what you do with your hair? If you decide to put on a wig, if you decide to put on an afro, should they have something to contribute to it? Now, let me give you a Kenyan perspective, which I find very interesting, yeah? She's so beautiful. I love that background. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. There's also this other debate that goes on in relation to wigs and hair, where if someone is wearing a wig, you'll be like, oh, I like your wig. Then you're like, I like that hair. They bought hair. Then you'll be like, no, 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 it's mine because I bought it. That's one concept. Then the other concept goes on many men. Now, this is a Kenyan perspective, or I've heard it severally being said by Black people, let's say. I can put it that way. So many men will be out here being like, I love natural hair girlies. I love women that are able to wear their hair out. You know, like you're very natural. But in the long run, they end up hanging more, or they end up liking or having like this crush or something with the ladies that have wigs and straight hair. That's not even the point. Some it will narrow down to, oh yeah, you don't want to spend, that's why you prefer when she's like quote unquote cheap by wearing her natural hair. So that's just a whole concept that goes on. But I'd love to know, if you're a man watching this, do you have something to say in relation to what your wife or your sister or your mother does with their own hair, or you're of the tip of, let everybody do as they please? At the end, being yourself is the best option. I agree. I agree. Okay, someone says it's okay for a Muslim woman to cover her hair with a wig. Okay, is it okay? Is it okay? That's a nice one. That's a really nice one, because Muslim ladies, the goal is to cover their hair, because hair in the Muslim world is seen as this something very attractive, and to some extent they guard it like the same way I guard my boot. Like how I guard my private parts is the same way Muslims guard their hair, because it's seen as this attractive thing. But funny enough, in all honesty, they don't use wigs to cover their hair. That's a nice one. That's a really nice one. Yeah, but I'm fully agreeing with, it is embarrassing. Natural hair is the best. Love yourself, Black women, because we Black men love you just the way you are. So this is a Black man being on the agreement of natural hair is the best. Love yourself, Black women, because we love you just the way you are. Yeah. I'm so tired of us not loving us. I love us, especially in our natural state. This is very true. This is entirely very, very true. And to some extent, we have to agree on, sometimes our natural hair doesn't always look sleek, doesn't always look, you know, how do I say it? Like, you can take care of it, and what we call like kinky style, it doesn't have to be perfect, which I feel like is the full-on kind of definition of how life is, that we don't always have like this perfect situation going on. Someone says her mind has been colonized. True, true, true. I agree with that. The way it was worn in the 70s. Yes, let's go back to our tradition. Self-hate in 2024 is a choice. Okay, let's take a break about that. What do you think? Do you think self-hate is a choice? Which I think it is somehow, if you have already gained the information. And I feel like in 2024 we're in a place where you can gain information on anything. But I also don't think self-hate is a choice on times where, how do I say it? Because I'm thinking, I don't want to be too naive and I want to give people that are going through maybe a self-hate situation some grace, because I fully maybe do not know what they are going through. and there's also very many different forms of experiencing self-hate. Well, yeah, I can't fully agree on self-hate in 2024 is a choice. Some people have other struggles that they are going through that goes beyond just hating yourself and wanting. I feel like there's more room to educate ourselves and to get better in terms of not hating ourselves and accepting ourselves the way we are in 2024 and choosing to love ourselves as we are. Black hair acts as antennas to the spiritual world. We were created as a spiritual people. Colonization has got the better of many black people. Yes, people with straight hair have tried to get their hair curly by using a curly perm. So, this is so nice. I agree with you. Black hair acts as antennas to the spiritual world. Very true. I'm in agreement with that, and I believe it. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been written in the Bible that we carry the crown on our heads, right? Black and beautiful, wear your crown. Why on earth would you listen to someone who doesn't like herself? God doesn't make mistake. Rebuke Satan in the name of Jesus. Yes! And this is my new way of advocating for life by people wearing their hair out more and more. I know there's convenience in other ways, but let's wear our hair more and more. As a black man, I greatly prefer natural hair. So tell me, with the earlier conversation, do you still greatly prefer natural hair because, it's convenient, you're not going to be asked for, hair wigs, and at this rate, some of the prices that I hear for wigs is just so crazy. Is it because you're cheap? Or is it because you have a bigger reason beyond that? Anyway, I'd love to know. Kingly Crown natural hair is the best hair, Michael says. She looks beautiful, thank you very much. And it's beautiful too, what she said and why she worried about our hair. I know, it's so very unfortunate. Your hair looks beautiful and healthy, sis. Thank you very much. FBA, we love ourselves, we are all we got. That's true. We should advocate for us to love ourselves more. All the females in my house, which there are 3, always wear natural hair. Please, black men, you're in charge of your household. So this person is in agreement on men do have something to say on what female and what we do with our hair. Yeah. So tell your wife or daughter their hair is unique, beautiful, and second to none. Come on, we're in 2024. Change your mindset for the better. Desta, you look fabulous. Thank you very much. Then, this is interesting. The discussion continues. Someone says, this isn't a man's problem. Men ain't needed, remember? Wait. That's interesting. Then someone says, I'm not a women chief. Check me. I think men have something to say. I am on the opinion of men have something to say because there's no way. So recently I was having a discussion about, are you of the support of action or words? So is it better if I tell you I love you, or is it better if I show you I love you? Like, which one do you prefer? And my answer, the most easy way would be to say, show me you love me. You don't necessarily have to tell me you love me. But for me, I am on the side of show me you love me and tell me you love me. Like, I appreciate both verbal and even action. So I feel like men have a place to affirm women on them looking beautiful and having a contribution on whatever they do and how they appear. Yeah. And can we even begin to talk about how many well, this is a whole different discussion where we can talk about feminism and the like, but there's a whole discussion of how women can do sometimes things just so they can please men. So I have to put myself in the mind of a man. So is he going to like this red lipstick? Yeah. Is he going to like when my earring is long or short? Like, which one is gonna attract him more? Sometimes we think these things. Let's be honest. So, and imagine if you arrive and then he's like, oh, wow, that looks so good. You will feel more appreciated. So we cannot take away the importance. We cannot take away the importance of affirmations from our men. Yeah, there's no way we can take away that. I think she was preaching on the value of I think she was preaching on the value of vanity, which is odd because the Bible teaches against being vain. True, I agree. Anti-Christian church. She also does not like Jesus' hair because it was like woo, just like our afros. So she's literally preaching anti-Jesus Christ in that church. I agree with you. Natural hair queen since 1997 responding. My question back is, did God make bad hair? At what heaven's gate will you be judged by your beautiful wig? That's a nice one. That's a nice one. That's a nice one. That's a nice one. Good questions. Good questions. It's the best of the best. The draw fleas. It's so beautiful. Good video, sis. Thank you so much. Then someone comes and says, facts. Like a whole breakdown of some facts. We'll get back to that. Let's continue hearing some more compliments because we have concluded that I want to be told I look beautiful in my afro, in my natural hair, and I also want to show the, like, I don't know how, what are the acts of looking beautiful? I don't know how would you express that? Like, I want both. That affirmation goes a long way. Don't say black people, say black women. Ha 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 ha. Your hair is thick and black. Thank you very much. I'm three races and okay with interracial relationship. But did you know? Honest scientists that have done the research says the only race who really has hair is African black people. Everyone else is technically has fur. If you're really interested in knowing if I'm telling the truth or not, you got to look it up on your own because I can't cite where I got that. Wow. So this is a conversation that's coming from someone that is three races, exposing to us and telling us this fact. And I feel like these matters are not necessarily talked a lot about. Yes. So someone says, the Bible says, I suffer a woman not. The Bible says, I suffer a woman not to teach, not usurp authority over a man. Women can be very superficial, and it is particularly destructive to the church. At this time in history, we see the fulfillment of end-time events and the need to pursue Christ and his righteousness, and this woman is focused on looks. First of all, let's take a break there, and let me say, if you're ever watching these videos and you would love to come and give your opinion and your thoughts and your research, like, because we are all informed in different ways and we can be able to pass this information better in this live stream. Perfect place for us to have this chit chat, Anyway, someone says, but you should have your own view. Someone responds to that and says, but you should have, this is another whole topic. We should come and talk about the place of women in a community and in terms of even like church, should they lead, all these things, yeah? But you should have your own view and view about right now instead telling people what to do by view and commenting on it. Yeah, someone says discernment is important when reading the Bible, which I fully agree. Whenever you see the Africans who wrote the Bible say the opposite of what we know as intelligent Africans globally, we must turn on the discernment to maximum and think, what caused the Caucasian viewpoint to be inserted in this text and this moment? Usually this is a clue to the audience of the author of said text. It's very important information to comprehend as you continue reading. Love our women. Any contradiction on consenting view of our women is only a clue that the audience has changed for the author. People are deep. Like, can we agree? People are deep on this. People that watch this channel are very deep. Someone says, the Bible says, I suffer a woman not to teach nor usurp authority over a man. Women can be very so. Okay, that's what we just read. This is a lie. Nothing is wrong with our people. Well, I don't know which part of this is a lie. I like natural hair. Females are not to be pastors, and that's biblical. Woo! Woo! That's a whole topic on itself. Like, females should not be pastors. Actually, that's Paul, the self-appointed false apostle, not Christ. We'll get into that. Someone says, sadly, men have said worse things that have nothing to do with the Most High. But God has used too many women as shining examples which we should follow and learn from, pastors or shepherds of God's sheep, to claim we should not be taught by women. For example, Abraham's African Egyptian wife Hagar, she showed us how to listen to God, how to listen to God and submit ourselves to God's will. Because high respect for God's voice, we now have this text we can call Abrahamic scriptures. I told you guys, people are deep in here. If you have dark skin and jet black, you are better and powerful. Fact. Africa is beautiful and is God. We are not African, we're indigenous people of America. So I think that's a response to... See, we have a lot of things to read, and not just to read, we have a lot of things to understand. We have a lot of things to finally come to a concept of getting deeper into, like, for example, understanding about us being like some black people being, let me see, being indigenous people of America. And you know what? You would think some people are very naive, or how do you not know this information? But it's so surprising on even so many things that I personally am coming to learn and to know. But let's take a minute, yeah, and put ourselves in the audience perspective. There's one more comment that we've not read. We'll get into that. But for now, let's get ourselves into thinking about there is this single girl. She has done all she can. She's living her life perfectly. She does not wear her wig. She wears her natural hair. She does not do lipstick. She does not do makeup. She's clean. She's well organized. She goes to church. Like, she's just living a very, very fantastic, amazing life. She goes to even to this church. Let's assume it was even like said that today we have a conference. Let's even take away that this woman who was preaching was a pastor. And if you don't have the context of what was happening, this pastor came on in the presence of an audience and was saying, you should not wear your natural wig, you should not wear your natural hair, like you won't get a husband. So I'm putting myself in that scenario of I am in a congregation, me as I am. And the pastor has preached and said, you will not get no husband if you continue on wearing your natural situations. And but someone told me I use the word situation often. And I want to put myself in the shoes of that person and how it changes their identity when they go home and now they are deciding, you know what? Apparently, I've been told I need to be a different person. Apparently, maybe I need to shave. Maybe I need to go now start looking for money so I can buy those expensive wigs. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. It's so crazy that how in the but it's the things that we consume that dictate who we are, right? They have a place, they have a role in who we are as a people. So it's hard to imagine that someone is going to be influenced by this, is going to read this and be like, oh yeah, maybe I need to change who I am. And it saddens me, especially as women. We tend to consume a lot. We tend to be easily influenced. If you check in the influencer marketing industry, the majority of people that join that are customers of influencers, quote unquote, are women. If you check in cults and even mostly cults, the majority, they are women. So we can easily, there's a reason why there was like a man ahead of us, so they can also like, because they have more I was listening to someone and they said it's called a masculine frame, like they have a frame of what, like more like a direction. And that's why I thought the plan was put for them to be meant to be the leaders and more like be led, and then the woman follows, because then men can easily be less influenced. Yeah. And I hope that that message did not reach to someone and someone now went up and changed who they are, and the message continued. It wasn't just about like the wig, it was about how you dress, it was about how you present yourself. And I'm not saying there's a problem with us and how we present ourselves. Definitely it is facts. We need to look cute. We need, if you need to put on your best, you know, situation going on, when especially when you're going in situations. And now I'm in agreement. I say this situation statement so many times. When you're going to scenarios or when you're going to places that you have an idea you might meet someone, but very importance is not to look cute. Of very importance is actually to be yourself. Because I don't think there's someone that's looking forward to meeting someone that is another person, that is not themselves. Yeah, so that's why I feel there should be space for people to be very independent. No, not independent, to be themselves. Yes, and there's of course a whole lot of there's a whole lot of situation that anyway, there's a lot of scenarios that are leading us to not be ourselves. There's so many things that we can see that can easily sway us to becoming different people than who we are. And yeah, short story. So there's this time, all they got to a time. Context. This is now like my story in relation to hair. For a good time of my life, I used to have my hair shaved, and that came from, okay, so you can focus in school, but in all honesty, I can tell you what happened. So we wouldn't wear our hair like afro when you're going to school, but when I was younger, I remember my mom would wear me afro and people would be so mesmerized by my hair. I remember she tells me this so many times and I love it. Anyway, so this time we go to a wedding and my hair is afro. It's so interesting that I'm back to those days now that I'm thinking about it. So we go to a wedding and I'm excited, I'm happy. This beautiful child is attending a wedding. Weddings are exciting, especially Kenyan weddings. They're just so much fun. And also I was younger at that age. Anyway, so I see this, Desta, what's going on? I just joined. Okay, let me catch you up, yeah? What's going on is I'm reacting to a video I once did here on Desta React about how this pastor went in church and was preaching against women wearing their natural hair. They won't get husbands. So I thought that's not true, because as you might know, I don't wear wigs and I did get a husband. Doesn't mean that you have to now go change who you are so that you can get someone. So that's the reaction that we're talking about. But now I'm sharing about my, I hope you've understood and we're together. And you've actually just joined when we are now at the fun part where I share about my experience to do with like hair. But before that, I was talking about how interesting it is that many white people commented on this topic and them being like amused or like, sorry guys, you mean you guys are not appreciating your hair? You mean you guys are not appreciating who you are? Stuff like this. Anyway, so when I was younger, welcome by the way, welcome. When I was younger, I've told you this wedding and everything. Then comes so how Kenyan weddings happen is you'll have the church service. After the church service, you're gonna have like a reception where you dance. Before the reception, you're gonna have lunch. Then weddings program that you will have the cake as the last thing. So because I had my hair out, I had to go. We had agreed with my mom that I'm going to this wedding, but then we won't wait until the cake is cut so I can go to a salon and get my hair plaited, like get some lines to go to school. But this wedding was too late. It was too late. So when my mom came and was like, hey, time to go, but then I feel like, how am I going to a wedding and I didn't eat a cake? I don't feel like I attended this wedding. Please, can we remain? And mom was like, no, we have to go, or otherwise you shave your hair. Tell me why. I asked my mom, so let's agree, I'm gonna eat the cake. We're gonna wait until the wedding and then we eat the cake. And then after we've eaten the cake, we'll go to a studio, I'll take a photo. And then after that, we'll go to a barber shop and I'll cut my hair. And voila, my mom was like, easy peasy, let's do it. So that's how I joined back to now having my hair cut. And for the longest time in my young age, I had a short hair. Like my hair was always cut. Anyway, I loved it. It was beautiful. I loved myself. Yeah. Come to now life, and then I start now growing my hair out and the like. And an interesting time was this time I was backpacking Ethiopia, and at some point, our kinky hair, our afro hair tangles. So this time I'm really back and forth, and I don't have no good situation to be able to take care of my hair. And because I was like very rural places, when I came back to the city, I was like, let me go to a salon and let me even straighten my hair. At this point, blow dry is considered to be like another way of just making your hair look more neater. So I go to this place and I comb my hair and I straighten my hair. And let me tell you, I hated it. I felt different. I felt this is not the Desta that I know. This ain't the queen. And on that same night, I washed my hair and we were back to curly, kinky hair. This is my story. So it saddens me to imagine that another person would, their identity would have been changed just because, this one person had something to say. And it's interesting, it's just by so much coincidence that today we are talking about hair, but this was brought to that thought because I saw several people that have different hair, people that should be less concerned about whatever we do with us, having something to say. Yes. And I hope we can communicate more as Africans, as Black people, as Kenyans, as whoever is watching this, to accept ourselves more as we are. And I hope you are entertained by my hair story. Who knew that one day I'll be online on YouTube talking about my hair? Such situations present themselves. Pun intended. Pun intended. So I want to check the comment. Let me see the comment that we were talking about. There was one very long comment in relation to our hair. And yeah. Anyway, the message is us loving ourselves as we are. Encourage a lady somewhere, because as we have agreed, we have a lot of influence on people and how they are and what they do with their life. So someone says, here's some facts about Black or African natural hair. So let's read through as we see if we agree with them. The spiral coiled pattern of our hair stays cleaner longer than other types of hair. Wow, interesting. I didn't know. Someone says, this spiral coil shape is a natural pattern of growth that shows up all throughout nature and the universe as well. Look at the pattern of pine cones, trees, sunflowers, and even the spiral shapes of galaxies, for example. Someone I know is very happy to hear that. Anyway, yeah, that's true. I agree. Then they go on to say, due to the spiral coiled shape of our hair, why is this person talking like someone I know? But anyway, due to the spiral coil shape of our hair, it grows up against gravity. This is how it stays cleaner longer. Growing against gravity keeps skin, sebum, and body scalps all from going along our hair shaft. Unlike straight hair, where it's easy for the sebum and oils from the skin and scalp to run down the hair shaft, hair that is coated with sebum and body oils attract and hold dust, particles, and dirt more and smells quicker. This is why people with straight hair have to shampoo every day or every other day. Oh, really? I didn't even know that. Beautiful Black people, God, of course, knew what he was doing when he created the first humans and us with the melanated skin and our spirally woolly hair. Now, that is natural beauty. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for those facts. I appreciate knowing this. I did not know this. My encouragement and my hope with this video and this discussion is that someone is going to be inspired to do better. And doing better looks like sharing with your sister, you yourself being more confident with who you are as yourself, even beyond the concept of hair, like even in other aspects. Yeah, so I cannot wait to hear your follow-up comments on this matter. But my message also today is that I hope all of us can continue talking about hair more, not even just hair, more about being so confident in ourselves that the last thing you're correcting about you is that which God blessed you with. Like that you are so proud, that we are so proud of ourselves and how we were created by God, and be able to see it as a bigger blessing than seeing it as I'm missing out in life or my life can't go on. Yeah, let's just keep loving ourselves and each other more and more. So moving forward, we're gonna be having like more discussions, and I'm hoping that some of you will be able to join me on this chit chat, and we can even have like discussions on different aspects. For example, that person that just shared about their spiral facts about hair and the like, how much more information can they share? Yeah, and let's just keep the conversation going. This channel is all about building a community of people that are keen to be educated, that are keen to not stay ignorant, that are keen to have information beyond the fun, the let's go out and vibe, let's just enjoy life. Like people that love deep things, if that makes sense. The people that love to educate themselves, to learn and even know more and relearn. Yes. So this channel is dedicated to those kind of people that we can go beyond. We can go beyond what we see. Like we can go beyond we've seen this person talking about this matter. We can go beyond someone saying that Africa is poor to how can we educate others, or where did this come from. Like we can be able to go to the source, because sometimes I believe in us trying to fully understand the solving of the source, because sometimes if you don't solve the root, then even solving the flowers or the leaves is not going to do anything per se. Anyway, yeah, and in this case we also have to like question things to do with like colonization in terms of this whole discussion on how we can unearth our mind to know that we are better, to know that we are the blessed ones, to know that God did this to us with a purpose that is beyond just, how we look and what we have. Yes, yes. And I'm of the opinion of people having choices on what to do. And on the same note, not that I'm against wig, but I'm very fully against that is your identity. I am, and therefore, as I said in that video, I'm gonna say it again here in this video, that even if it means me every day putting on my natural hair to encourage one, or let's say be very optimistic, two, let's say very, very ambitious, three people, to love themselves more. I'm not even saying not wear wigs, to love themselves more, to be more confident in who they are naturally, to be more in love with who they are as a people, to know that that is the definition of beauty. I have made it in life. We, as Desta reacts, clap on us for ourselves, like that's an achievement. Yeah. So brace yourself. This was our first live, and brace yourselves. Subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell, because you're gonna get deep. We'll do more lives. We'll do so many more lives. Then we'll break down these lives into smaller portions, and then you guys can check them out as well. Like we will do research. We will invite experts. We will invite more experienced people on some of these different topics, and we can continue educating ourselves better, so that when a conversation is going on about our people, we can log in and be like, we have something to say. We ourselves can contribute to that matter. For example, in this case, when a video you see about Black people, I'll be out there and Black people being like, yes, we love ourselves. This woman should be, everyone should be talking about her. She should kind of be, quote unquote, there should be such a, I don't want to say there's like an effect, but she should have known. She should be called out enough to know that she did preach that which is not right, and that is unacceptable. Like even self-abuse of ourselves is just so crazy when you think about it. Anyway, then in the process, I'll continue trying to share some of my pieces of my experience and of my life. Yeah, this was fun. I enjoyed having this chit chat with you guys. And remember to be yourself, remember to love yourself, and remember reflecting on the self-hate statement. Self-hate in 2024 is a choice. I can't say self-hate in 2024 is a choice. I'm gonna say self-hate in 2024 and remaining in the self-hate is what is a choice. Yeah. I was having a chit chat with someone, and it was about, okay, let me see how I can share without sharing, if there's something like that. The conversation was about, let's say, a good example, I can't cook. So then this person is like, this is such a mindset. You just need to sit down, teach yourself how, if you decide you can't cook, then you cannot cook. It is you choosing to put yourself in that situation of, I can't cook. In the current life, we can be in a place of, I cannot cook today, but because it is 2024, tomorrow I can cook. I can go on YouTube, I can go on TikTok, I can go on Instagram, watch one cooking video, replicate, and I know how to cook. I can buy a recipe book. Like, so many things can be done in getting ourselves better. So as we say, self-hate is in 2024, and staying in the self-hate is a choice. Yeah. So let's keep doing better. And thank you guys for sitting around with me for this conversation, for this chit chat. I don't want to drag it so long, but let's say in the coming time, it will be more engaging, it will be more interesting, and it will be more fun. And I hope you enjoyed this one. And if you've watched to the end, man, kisses, hugs to you. Thank you very much, and have yourself a good night or good day. And can we also talk about it weekend? And this is the perfect plan to hang out here and talk about hair. Basically, we were not talking about hair in this context. We were talking about being black, being us, and being us has more to do with us than just us. It has elements of hair, it has elements of our skin color, it has elements of how we dress, it has elements of our identity, it has elements of our values, our beliefs, our routines, our unacceptables and acceptables, our opinions, our thoughts. It has elements of all those things, and I cannot wait for us to get into those details. My only joy today is that we started like on the top, and then now we continue going now into the brain. Let's get deep. Let's get inside and get to know better, and maybe one day we'll get to even the feet. Because it's interesting that I was watching someone talking about nude beaches. This is like another extra story. So in some countries they have nude beach. So in Kenya or in Africa, barely is that something that exists. And someone was saying we are very traditional. And at that point I was like, is this even traditional? I feel like this is conservative. This is more like values. This is, we would even call it respect. But that's a story for another day. For now, I feel like we've had enough of us going back and forth. And thank you to everyone who was able to join this live stream. It gets more alive when you guys have joined the live stream. It becomes more, we can engage. I can get to hear what you have to say, and then we can have some fun times. Yeah. Anyway, I had so much fun, and I hope you did too. As I said, on the next one, we shall go deeper and deeper. We shall get into questions. We shall just have more interactive sessions. But for today, I'm happy we did this, and I will see you on the next one. Bye for now. Thank you for joining. So remind me how we used to end a live stream. Isn't that interesting that I don't remember how we used to end a live? Jesus. And you're still here watching me. I had fun. Thank you so much. Thank you for sticking along. Finally, I found where to end the live. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. I also had fun talking to you. always. That's not for this channel. On this channel, we don't talk about always. That's for Queen Desta. And thank you so much if you follow me on both platforms. Like you'll see different personalities and characters, and you'll know that this girl is deep. She's not just about where are we going next. She's about how can we build our life better and how can we become better people as we move on with life. Anyway, guys, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.